What's it like getting the phone call from the UFC?
It was in the moment where I wanted if I'm able to knock out a boxer who dedicates his whole life to only boxing, why I wouldn't be able to knock out someone in MMA? Once you connect a punch, you know if you're gonna knock him out or not.
You feel it?
You feel it. Bullfighter finishes shows and he...
How hard is it at the start of trying to get fights, of trying to build a career, of trying to build what you've built?
In reality, it's very, very hard. And specifically at that time in Spain, we didn't have any events. It was so hard to get fights. You don't have anyone to represent you like to the big leagues, or even a support. So I had to work in 4 jobs to be able to compete.
What did you do? Tell me what you did. Come on, give me the jobs.
I was working on the beach, like with the hammocks. It's how do you say that?
So we would class them as sun lounges. So you would put
sol lounges. You say
sol.
Yeah.
We call it a sun lounger. So you were looking after those on the beach.
Exactly. We're working on that. I was working on selling clothes in
a store.
In a store, yeah. I was working also 1 day in a week security, and I was also working as a how do you say, like, as a coach for grappling.
Wow.
Yeah.
All at the same time. All 4 jobs at the same time.
And different days in a week, I had like my schedule. I remember doing my schedule. I had like writing down like, at this time I'm gonna do this. At this time I'm gonna do that. I was very organized kid. Always. I used to organize my schedule for a week, for a month, for everything. Like from this hour to this hour, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and I used to record everything, all my training sessions. And then I used to go to my house and watch it, and I'm like, what are the weaknesses that I feel that I have? Like, I get tired when I do boxing, I feel my arms tired, I feel my legs tired, I need to improve my reaction, I need to do this, and I used to put those trainings in my schedule, to get better. Because I was my #1 fan. I used to record it, watch it, and I'm like, I like to watch this. If I'm a fan and I go and I pay for a ticket, I will be happy to do it.
That's an amazing amount of self-awareness, to understand what the weaknesses are at that particular time, to be able to try and correct those weaknesses. So how do you go about correcting them?
Hey, Perlita! How do I correct it? Like, I used to watch it, and
did you correct them yourself, or did you have coaches that you would have conversations with?
No, myself. I used to watch it like at the night after the trainings, and I'm like, listen, I need to improve the reactions when they throw me a jab, for example. I need to be more like fast to counter it, or I have to shoot a takedown, or whatever. Like, I have to make the fight entertained all the time.
I've got something on this in a minute because of your style, the way that it's changed from pre-UFC to where it is at right now.
Yeah.
But before you then start off as a pro, you turned pro at 18?
18.
18 years of age. How hard was it to get fights in Spain? Because, like you've just said, there is no MMA.
I remember I started, I got 4 fights, and then there was a point where it was basically impossible to get a fight. And I was like, what I'm gonna do now? Because I don't have any money. I'm working just to survive.
Yeah.
I don't have any news about the fight. What I'm gonna do? And there was a gym in Sweden, All Stars Gym.
Majid. Yeah.
Where Alexander Gustafsson was training at that gym, and I knew it. And he was preparing for a fight against John Jones. He was fighting for the title.
Right.
And I'm like, if I go to that gym, for sure there is someone, like a manager, someone that represents the guys, that they train there, that if he sees me,
you knew. You knew that all it needed was someone to see your talent and away we'd go.
If someone is gonna see my talent, they are gonna give me the opportunity to fight in some events or whatever.
So you went to Sweden?
I went to Sweden, but there's a story before that too, because I didn't have any money to go to Sweden, to travel there, to stay there for a week. So I had to talk to my friend. He gave me the money. I went there, and I remember the first training session. I finished the first training session, and there was a guy, Majdi, and he came to me, and he was like, "Do you have a manager?" And I'm like, "No." So now you have it. And I remember he booked me a fight in 3 weeks in Finland. Then I fought in 3 weeks and a half. He booked me another fight in Cage Warriors for the title, for the bantamweight title.
Yeah.
I went there. I won the fight.
So that's how that came about,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
No one is gonna come to your house and knock the door and like, "It's you, come. This is for you." No, you have to find the opportunities, and you have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe it, no one is gonna do it for you.
What's it like getting the phone call from the UFC?
It was in the moment where I wanted I didn't want to get that call. I was sick. I had COVID. And I remember I was like in my bed. I wasn't even able to walk. After 2 weeks, finally, I get well. And I'm like, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to run for 30 minutes. And I remember in 15 minutes I had to come back. And I sit in my house, and my phone started to sound. I pick up the phone, and they were like, "Do you want to fight in the UFC in 8 days?" And I'm like, how am I gonna make that happen? It was 12 kilos.
Yeah.
I had to cut like 12 kilos in 8 days. So many things I had to do. Whatever, I said yes. I want to do that. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen, but let's do it.
And you do it, and you win in style. And the rocket ship takes off.
I would prefer to win by finish.
But that win is absolutely edged because of obviously the opponent that you came in on last minute replacement. He's doing extremely well now.
Yeah,
obviously.
He was foreign and all in the UFC.
And he's had a few bumps, but he's doing it incredibly well now. The change in style, I want to talk to you about that, because pre-UFC, you're submitting everybody, taking everybody's neck. And then you come to the UFC and you start knocking everybody out. Is there a change of mentality? Because you were talking a moment or two ago about entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, give me that.
Yeah.
Because that fascinates me. To change your whole style to be more entertaining, that's wild, man.
It is, it is. But at the end of the day, you are in a sport which is based on entertaining. And you have to be aware of that. And I remember when I started to fight in the UFC, I was like, listen, I gotta have all the tools. Like, I have to be good in striking, I have to be good in wrestling, good in the ground. And everywhere that the fight takes place, I have to be entertained. Like, it doesn't matter. If I go to the ground, it has to be entertained. Because there are a lot of fans that they go to watch a fight that they don't know anything. They never practiced a sport. So you have to make it entertaining for them, you know? So this is basically what I did. It sounds a little bit weird, but honestly, that was my thought process.
But again, that comes down to self-awareness, understanding. It's not just you. There's a greater picture here.
Yeah, if whatever you do, at least my mentality is like, whatever I do, I want to be the best. And if there is someone who doesn't understand what I do, it doesn't matter. He has to understand. He has to enjoy it. Also, he has to be like, wow, I love this.
So if your background then is grappling-based martial arts, you come to the UFC, and then all of a sudden you start knocking people out.
But before the UFC, I started with boxing.
Whilst you were pre-UFC, you'd already started the process of moving into the... Because your last victory before the UFC was a knockout victory. So that process had started. Yeah. You said that you analysed things and you made the changes. What did you analyse? What were you looking at in the world of boxing?
the inspiration to start in boxing came from Canelo, Lomachenko, from all those guys. Like we were watching all that fights, and I'm like, I want to be able to do that in my fights, in my sparring. So I want to do that. I want to practice that. Yeah, it came from that, and I had the how do you say, the luck to have my brother on my side, who was like more concentrate on teaching and all that.
The foot movement of Lomachenko is...
It's amazing, different. I couldn't reach that point yet.
Maybe a little bit of dancing.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Listen, you're giving it the he did that. He did the matador thing in the corner once, didn't he? You know what I mean? So you've got a little bit of something.
Maybe once. Maybe we're gonna do that. Maybe boom, 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 boom.
But what you do have, and this is probably the biggest compliment I compare you with your striking. Canelo's very, very good at front foot pressure and front foot defence, going forward and defending at the same time, of which I think is quite evident in your striking style with the way that you go about it.
Yeah.
Most people, when they're defending, it's a backwards thing.
Yeah.
You're actually doing it going the other way.
Yeah, I'm going to make it happen. Yeah.
But again, that comes down to the entertainment factor that you were talking about before.
Yeah. Because when I go and I watch the fights, I don't like to watch the kind of fighters like that they are waiting all the time. And I need you to do something that is going to allow me to do another thing. I'm like, it doesn't matter whatever you're going to do, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to let you do whatever I want you to do. You know what I mean? I like pressure, pressure, pressure all the time. I love put my opponents under pressure. I love that.
Are you aware of the magnitude of the knockout run that you're currently on?
Yeah, I was aware, to be honest, because I knew like what I was able to do in the trainings. I was like knocking out everyone in the training sessions. Like they used to bring a lot of boxers in the trainings, different type of fighters, and I used to knock them out. And I was like, if I'm able to knock out a boxer who dedicates his whole life to only boxing, why I wouldn't be able to knock out someone in MMA? Because I have that power. I realize that I have it. I have something in my hands that if I touch you, for sure you're gonna go to sleep. And I saw that so many times that why I would doubt in myself. Why I would do that. Like I'm like, if I'm able to do this in trainings, I'm also gonna be able to do this in competitions.
What does it feel like to knock somebody out?
This sounds a little bit weird. It sounds a little bit savage, but it feels amazing. Because you know once you connect a punch, you know if you're gonna knock him out or not.
You feel it?
You feel it. You're like, pow! It's like, bro, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Bro, I'm sorry.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah, I like the way that you did that. Me as a fan, right? Understanding what you've just said. You've trained, you've done your full camp, you've just landed that blow.
Yeah.
The guy goes over. The crowd is going absolutely
how crazy is that?
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
But you never lose your mind in that moment. Maybe you're going crazy inside, I don't know. But you always seem so serene and so calm in that moment.
Because to be like, I'm not surprised at all, because before the fights I always know that I'm gonna knock him out. It's like I know that all I need is one punch, and at one point of the fight, I'm gonna connect that punch. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I just have to be patient. I have to, whatever I do, it has to be very clean. I have to protect myself all the time. I have to move my head, because it's a fight. You don't have to take unnecessary punches. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for my opportunity all the time, because I know it's gonna arrive. It will come. I'm gonna have that opportunity. When? I don't know. I'm opening that hole all the time, like bam, 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 bam. And when I see it, I'm like, I'm coming. Bah!
Are you looking for patterns? See, there's many different ways when I speak to fighters about this. Some people are waiting for the gap, as you're just highlighting there. Some people, it's robotic because they've trained it and it's a certain combination that they're used to throwing all the time, waiting for the space. What are you looking for? In that moment, what are you looking for?
So, when I get an opponent, of course, we analyze like any opponent that I have, I analyze it, and they all have some patterns, right? So I choose like a couple of combinations and I work on that all the time. My training camp is based on the strategy. It's not that we decide the strategy the day before the fight or in the fight week. No, we have the strategy before the training camp and we work on that strategy.
And then wait for the gap.
During the whole training camp, you know what I mean? And I have, let's say, 3-4 combinations of take you down in the ground. I have a couple of scrambles and then I'm gonna submit you, or in striking. I have a couple of movements that I do. If I cut you, I'm gonna put you to sleep. And I don't have much. I have like 3-4 combinations that I'm not gonna release that combinations in the first exchange or in the second one.
Trap setting.
Yeah.
Setting traps.
Yeah, I'm very patient. And I'm very perfectionist, you say, perfectionist? Yeah. So whenever I decide to throw those punches, I know that it's gonna work.
The perfect knockout is what you're looking for.
Yeah, the perfect knockout, a clean knockout.
Talk to me about the rows. Because that is, for people that don't know, they obviously see you with the
show
rows.
of respect, like.
But people don't know the heritage of that. Obviously, it's a Spanish heritage from bullfighting, yeah?
Yeah.
Correct? So it's a show
when a
of
bullfighter
respect.
finishes shows and
When he finishes the show.
Yeah, when he finishes the show, in proof or in show of respect, he leaves a rose.
And that is your respect to the opponent?
This is my respect to my opponent.
What's that? What's that one?
I don't know.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I
want to know, is that English tea? What are you doing there?
I don't know. Don't ask me because I don't have the answer of that.
That just happened like that?
I don't know. I just knock him out and I'm like...
You know that it's like one of the biggest memes on social media now. Everybody seems to be doing that thing. There's kids out there doing it.
From where it came from, I swear I was like, bam.